Hello and welcome to the fourth project, the fourth SAM project, 4A with Excel. I again have the instructions printed off. I'm just going to read through them and we'll do this one together on Excel. Number 1, Justin and Colleen Malowski have always dreamed of purchasing and running a campground. Kayleen wants to be ready when a campground becomes available, so she decides to start calculating how a mortgage will impact her family's budget on a monthly basis and over the life of the loan. She also wants to consider how different interest rates, will impact the total cost of the campground. Switch to the campground mortgage worksheet. In cell D5, create a formula using the payment option, PMT function. This is in cell D5. There. Oops, D5. To determine the monthly payments for the anticipated campground mortgage using the defined names, rate, term years, and loan amount as the rate, NPER, and PV arguments. All right. So the instructions for the assignments are always given to you chronologically when you're putting in information for the functions. So defined names is something that you might have seen already in training, but it's just referring to a cell or a range that has a specific name on it rather than C5. It's rate kind of thing. So it's referencing a cell or a set of cells. So they want you to use the PMT function. I'm going to go to the function box for this one and have a look. PMT. Okay. The rate. So it says using the defined names rate, term years, loan amount as the rate, NPER, and PV arguments. So rate is going to be rate. Term years is going to be NPER. Loan amount is going to be PV. So rate is going to be the NPER is going to be term years. The loan amount, oops. So you'll notice over here, it's picking up on which cells are which. So rate is the defined name for this cell. Term years is picking up on 15, so that's the name of this cell. Your loan amount is $388,800, which is this one. So click OK, and it does calculation there. Oh my goodness, I didn't see A and B. Got ahead of myself. So I'm going to have to go back there and do some playing around with it. A says put a negative sign before the PMT function, so that's right there. Put a negative sign in there. And rate should be divided by 12. So divided by 12 to calculate the monthly interest rate, and term years should be multiplied by 12 to calculate the total number of monthly payments. Right now I'll hit enter, and now nothing is in the negative. Everything is in the positive, which is great. Number 2, Kayleen calculated the anticipated total cost of the campground using the mortgage interest rate she expects to qualify for. She now wants to determine how different interest rates could impact the total cost of the campground. Select the range A12 to A26. Fill it with a percent series based on the values in range. Okay, they say a little backwards there. What they want you to do is to highlight these two. Use your fill handle. Copy it down. There you go. Number 3, create a single variable data table to determine the impact that the variable interest rates in A12 to A22 will have on the total cost of the campground. So I'll read A through D now. 3A in cell B11, create a formula without using a function. So B11, don't use a function that references D5. That one is simple. All you do is equals D5. Enter. They just want you to reference that one cell. Equals D5. equals D7. Oopsies. There you go. 3D says select the range A11 to D26. Create a single variable data table. So you're going to go create a data table using an absolute reference to cell D3. All right, so data table is going to be over data, logic analysis, data table. And the reason it says single variable is because it only gives you a column input, which is absolute reference to D3. So D3 and F4. Okay, and it fills it in for you. Number 4, to help Kayleen identify how each rate in her variable interest rate schedule compares to the interest rate she anticipates on her mortgage, she decides to highlight the matching interest rate in the schedule with the conditional formatting rule. Apply a highlight cell's conditional formatting rule to range A12 to A26. That formats any cell in the range that is equal to the value in cell D3, absolute cell reference, with green fill, dark green text. So we're going to make a conditional formatting rule, which is over in the Home tab, conditional formatting, a highlight cells rule. It is equal to the value, so equal to D3 absolute. And they want us to change that to green fill. Okay. D3, I feel like there's D3. Now I've noticed has happened in the past, and I think the way I changed it was to actually select the cell. So we're going to do that next. So what happens here is we're going to have to edit our rule that we just made, or I'm going to have to. This is the rule I just made. I'm going to have to click on edit. And it didn't pick up on this cell. So I'm going to have to click on it right here, D3. And hopefully it takes it now. Apply, okay. And it did. There we go, 5.75. So when you're making yours, click on the cell rather than typing it into the conditional formatting rule. And number 5, Kayleen now wishes to finalize the amortization schedule. In cell J4, create a formula without using a function that subtracts the value in cell I4 from the value in cell H4 to determine how much of the mortgage principal is being paid off each year. So in cell J4, create a formula without using a function that subtracts the value in I4 from H4. So H4 goes first, subtract I4 equals. Now they want you to copy that down to J18. There we go. And number 6, in cell K4, create a formula using the if function to calculate the interest paid on the mortgage. All right, so but last time I actually used the function box. This time I'm just going to type it in. So equals if, open bracket, logical test. So our logical test is if H4 is greater than 0, like you'll see in 6a there. So H4 is greater than 0, comma, value if true is B, and it says use 12 asterisks. $, D, $, 5, subtract J4, comma, and C says the value in cell H4 is not greater than 0, the formula should return the value of 0. So the value if false is 0. There's your bracket, click enter. Copy that formula down to K18. Alright, now apply the accounting number format with 2 decimal places and a number symbol as the symbol to the range K4 to K18. So we will go to the drop down, we'll click on accounting, and OK. Oh, double check on that. 2 decimal places, $sign. Okay. And in number 8, in cell K20, right there, create a formula without using a function that references the defined name down payment. So that's like what we did over here when we had just equals D5. What we're going to do is just equals and then type in that down payment name because my ranges come up right here. Click right there, double click, and perfect. Click outside or enter, either works. Number 9, if Kayleen decides to add custom cell borders to the amortization schedule to make it easier to read. All right, so our color is green, accent 6, darker 50%, and A is where we'll start. Add an outline border with a medium border style to range G3 to K21. So G3 to K21, we're going to add borders. more, more borders, sorry. So first thing we're going to do is pick our color, and that's going to be the green, accent 6, darker 50%. And we're going to pick outline, and they want it to be a medium border style, which is second column, fifth row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one. And notice it didn't change. It still looks light, so we'll need to click on the outline again to make it apply. Click OK, and you'll see we made an outline border. B says add a vertical line border with a light border style to the same range. So we'll highlight that range again, and we're going to go to more borders again. Oops. This time we add verticals, so this is your vertical line right there. But they want it to be in a light border style, which is first column, 7th option. Now, I clicked on vertical line before I clicked on my style, and it's still medium because you have to click on this last in order for it to apply any changes, okay? Okay, so now we've got a different range. C is G4 to K4. They want us to add a top light border. A top light, again, I did it again. I clicked this first. I should click that last top light border. And the next range is G18 to K18. And that one's going to have a bottom light border. Light and bottom. There we go. Your borders are done. Number 10, to make the various elements of the campground mortgage worksheet easier to select and print, Kayleen wants to add custom names to the ranges. All right, so now they're going to show you how to make those defined names they've been talking about. So 10A, apply the custom name mortgage payment to the range A2 to D7, A2, D7. So we're going to make this whole thing mortgage payment. So we're going to go up to insert and data view. Where is that now? Try again. Formulas. Define names, a whole group of it. So we are going to say define name, and we change the name here to mortgage payment. I'm going to be a little lazy and not type anything in and just backspace. Mortgage payment refers to, and the selection's right there. Click OK. Now you'll see it show up. See, I just clicked on H6 and you'll see H6 over here. I click here. Mortgage. There we go. Click on that. It'll show you what that selection is. So this one here, if I hover, should it say? I'm going to say it when I hover, but you can see that's mortgage underscore pay A, which is payment, the one we just made up here. So it's that one there. And if you'll notice, earlier we did a calculation using this one. The name shows up there as rate. That one's term years. And this, where's the other one too? Ah, there we go. There's a loan amount, down payment, price. So You can have defined names for just one cell, or you can have them for a range. B is apply the custom name interest rate schedule to the range A9 to D26. That's A9 down to D26. So we'll click on define name and we'll change it here, interest rate schedule. Click OK. All right, so that's entered in there now, interest rate schedule. You can see it. 10C, apply the custom name amortization schedule to the range G2 to K21, G2, K21, define name. We don't have to change anything there. Just click OK. Now click outside and show you that one. Amortization schedule, there it is. All right, so number 11, assign names to the cells in the range D5 to D7 by selecting the range C5, D7 and creating names from the selection using the values in the left column as the defined names. So they say select the range C5 to D7, so C5, D7. And it says create names from a selection. So you'll see here, create from selection, and it asks you what you're going to use, and it tells you in the instructions to use the left column. Click OK, and what happens is it makes each of these things the name of the left column. So monthly payment, you'll see that up there, total interest, total cost. Number 12, Kaylee wishes to protect the worksheet so that she doesn't make any accidental changes to the values. However, since her assumptions about the price of the campground, the down payment, and the mortgage rate interest rate may be incorrect, she wants to be able to update these values in the protected worksheet. So 12A says to select and unlock the range B5 to B6. B5 to B6, you can right-click, format cells, and protection. Click here and you are unlocking them. Also, that's the same thing for D3. Right-click, and another way to do it is home, format, and there's lock right there. You click on that, it's not locked anymore. If you'll notice, it's not chosen. If you click on it, then it looks grayed out. See that? So if I click there, you can tell it's not chosen now, so it's unlocked. C, protect the campground mortgage worksheet without a password. So we'll go to view or review. Review. Protect the worksheet without a password. So I'm not putting in a password. Click OK. All right, so that is protected now, meaning all these are grayed out. All your options to change most of the things are grayed out. So you can't make any changes until you unprotect it. Number 13, Kayleen had previously hidden a worksheet containing data on other recently purchased campgrounds in New Hampshire. Now she wants to compare the data in that worksheet with the data she just calculated. Unhide the campground research worksheet. So we'll right-click down on this tab and unhide. And there it is there. We click OK to unhide that one. And here it goes. 14, switch to this research, campground research worksheet in cell B8. Create a formula without using a function that determines the total interest associated with the mortgage first. So we're going to put our equal sign in there. First, multiply the value in cell B6, the number of terms, by the value in cell B7, and by 12. And then subtract. So this is a bit of a BEDMAS one. First thing they want you to do is multiply B6 and B7 together. So I'll open a bracket, B6 multiplied by B7, close bracket. Now they want you to multiply that by 12. Multiply by 12. And then they want you to subtract. If I just use subtract B4 now, it's just going to take 12 and subtract that from B4. What I need to do is I need to create another set of brackets. Oops. I tried to click the back arrow. That was my mistake there. So I need to create another set of brackets around here so that first B6 and B7 are multiplied. Then that answer is multiplied by 12. And then I want all that. That answer there subtracted by B4. And then enter. Copy that formula in cell B8 all the way over. Number 15, Kaylin would like to be able to see the remaining balance of the campground mortgage at the end of the current year. In cell B11, create a formula using the PV function. PV equals PV, open bracket. So for the rate parameter, use the value in cell B5 divided by 12. So B5 divided by 12, and comma. The NPER is next, that's in B. It says for the NPER parameter, subtract the value in B10 from B6 and multiply that, meaning that result, by 12. So what you're going to do is you're going to open a bracket inside of a bracket. And it says subtract B10 from B6. So B6 goes first, and then B10. Close your bracket, and it says multiply that by 12. So that corresponds by 12. All right, that's your NPER. And then you put your comma there, and you have to say, use the value in cell B7 and put a negative sign before this value so that the outcome is a positive. B7 and close your bracket, enter. Copy that formula all the way over. Alrighty, you are finished. Last thing you have to do is click your files, save as, browse, make sure it goes to your documents, change that 1 to a 2, and you'll see the name change up at the top. And the last thing you have to do is just submit it.